Hi guys and welcome back. Now, in a recent video I talked about some of the new film stocks that have been or are about to be released, and undoubtedly the biggest of these was the brand new Phoenix colour from Harman, the company behind the incredible Ilford. This had been teased online by Harman for quite a while until it was finally announced back on the 1st of December. So Phoenix is the first colour emulsion to come from Harman and is a limited edition 200 ISO rated C41 film that can be shot between ISO 100 and 400 with good consistent light desired in order to achieve the best results, but more on that later. Now, there's been a load of videos showcasing what results can be achieved using this stock, and I wanted to see how I fared with it. Now, because I only ordered a single roll of it, I thought best to try it out in two separate lighting conditions, shooting half of the roll in relatively flat overcast conditions and the other half in brighter sunlight to see how the film would stack up in both situations. So for the first half of the roll, I shot out and about in Sheffield city centre. What I was doing is looking to try and find different colour palettes, try and get some artificial light in there, and just basically shoot lots of different compositions. Then, for the second half of the roll, me and Sam headed out into the peaks on a really sunny Saturday morning to see how the rest of the roll would handle a scene that is absolutely full of contrast. So as you've seen, the results differ hugely when shot in bright light. The film definitely has a very small level of latitude, and getting the exposure nailed down is definitely going to be key to achieving good results. In the majority of the shots taken when I was out with Sam, the fact that there's easily 2 to 3 stops of difference between the highlights and shadows is clearly too much for Phoenix to take, and this has left some super blown out highlights. Now, speaking of highlights, there is noticeable halation with Phoenix that's usually present in like repurposed cinefilm like Kodak Vision 3. Now, when it comes to halation, my personal opinion on this is that it can add to the scene if it's part of the composition and like the light source is part of the image, but it can also detract from the subject. So it's very much going to come down to how you shoot, what light sources are in the image, and personal preference as to whether it's something that you like or dislike. But it is definitely something that's worth knowing prior to shooting with it though. With regards to grain, there is noticeable grain in the images, more so than I would say you'd normally usually expect with a 200 ISO film. But I do think that along with the super warm tones that Phoenix produces, it does add to that look and it adds to the feel of the images that are produced. Now finally, a huge aspect of the results that you're going to achieve with Phoenix, especially over like the next 6 to 12 months, will be the way that the film is both developed and scanned, whether that's by yourself or at a lab. With it being a brand new emulsion, people are still experimenting with how to best develop the film, and then once that film has been developed, how to get the best scans possible from those negatives. If I show you now the scans that I initially received, you'll notice that there's quite a difference between the scans that I received and the final images. So all in all, my thoughts are that first and foremost, this is a very important film stock. It's the first colour emulsion to come from what is a big player in the market, and as such, it should be applauded. It has very much been marketed as an experimental film, and therefore it should be treated as such. Now, given the right conditions and when correctly exposed, I've seen from a number of other photographers that it can produce absolutely stunning results. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not an easy film to shoot, it's not a versatile film to shoot, and it has got a very specific feel from it. But that doesn't make it a bad film at all. It's a stock that I think rewards you for shooting it correctly, but it also, on the flip side, can punish you quite easily. Because of that, I wouldn't recommend it to beginners, but I would definitely recommend considering it if you're looking to challenge yourself or if you're just looking to shoot something different. Again, I want to applaud Harman for releasing this. A big thank you to Sam, as always, for modelling, and thanks to you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think to Phoenix. Have you shot a roll? Are you looking forward to shooting a roll? Or is it just not something that's on your radar whatsoever? Other than that, as always, I'll see you in the next video.